Pizza, pizza, come and get your pizza. Let's make some pizza, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am making some gluten-free pizza. I'm using my flour, some war gum, of course, my quick activating yeast, and I'm gonna have everything down at the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and sit that in the blender and start adding my ingredients. I believe I use like 2 1/4 cup of flour. I like to go ahead and add my salt. I add some sugar, maybe about 2 teaspoons of sugar. A teaspoon of the guar because of the type of flour I'm using. I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head. I don't have everything in front of me. But anyway, now when I make it, I go ahead and that was the whole purpose of using the quick activating yeast. That way I don't have to do too much. I don't have to wait for it to sit and rest and things of that nature. So yeah, I also, of course, use about 2/3 cups of water. Add it. I like to add as I go. Every now and then I might need a little bit more because I get the measurement off. But for my dough, I like to add, and you don't have to add this. I like to add garlic, onion, and like the Mrs. Dash that comes in like the teal bottle. I add that together, and honey, and maybe an extra pinch, like a little bit extra salt. Sugar. Oh my God. But anyway, so ever since I switched to the quick rising dough, my dough has came out way better when it comes to making gluten-free pizza because it's girl, it's a tussle for me. So I'm gonna add that. And that's my seasoning right there, my dash. Now with salt, I add a little bit. I think it's like a teaspoon for the recipe. I need a lot of that. But yeah, my garlic powder, my onion. And honestly, I like to mix the dry ingredients first, and then I start adding the water. Now, yeah, two, whatever packet you decide to use when it comes to the quick, just follow that. Just follow that. So this is what we got right now, and I'm just letting it mix. I added some water to it. And make sure you keep you something to scrape the sides. That way you don't have to worry about your dough not mixing the way you need to mix. I grab like a little pan. I add some oil to it. Now, I'm adding oil because, of course, I don't want it to stick. But making regular dough and gluten-free dough, it can be quite dry. So to prevent it from being dry and all of that, I use the oil for my pans. And however many pans you're using. This recipe generally can make, if you wanted to make 2 large pizzas, you could. A lot of times I break it down and make smaller pieces, individual pieces, and that's my dough. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on my cutting board. That way I can manipulate my dough a little bit just in case I have something sticky. But a lot of times it comes out pretty good because you can kind of, after a while, you can kind of eyeball what it looked like when it comes out. So because I don't have a rolling pin, now generally you would take this and roll it on this cutting board, but I don't have a pen. I don't know where my pen is. And I just kind of make, I guess you could say, mash the dough down somewhat the best way I can, try to even it out. And I kind of start in the middle and push it towards the outer part of the pan. That way I get an even amount of dough and I get an even cook when I bake it. So I have a gas oven. In my oven, I don't have a brick stone or anything like that. So yeah, of course a brick stone will make it easier. But okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to the top. That way we don't have no dry crust on the top either. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in my oven. Mine is on 380. I have a gas, so it gets super hot. So I'm going to sit it in there for about 8 to 10 minutes. And all of my pizzas, I pretty much just let them sit in there for a while. Then I move on to the next pizza or whatever. And pretty much repeat the same step as I go. Um, Again, working with gluten-free pizza is different because it doesn't have, I guess you could say, the same elasticity that gluten has as a binder. I do look forward to using experimenting with psyllium husk soon, but I don't have any, so this is how I make mine without it. Um, Generally, my ingredients, my sauce, I get the pizza sauce from Kroger. It's normally like 99 cents in a jar. Sometimes you can catch them on, well, I think that's the sale, 99 cents. And when I catch the shredded cheeses on sale, I generally stack up on them and keep them in the cut. And these big bags of flour I buy from BJ's, and it's a huge bag of flour for like $10. And that's how I'm able to keep pizza. Like, worst case scenario, I have a mixer, I can make it happen. Knowing how to just put your little dough together. Okay. So this is how it looks coming out of the oven. That way it's not dry and crumbling all the pieces. And this is my pasta sauce. Sometimes it's already upside down because whatever is left over, I generally go ahead and reuse that jar first. But I just pretty much take my ladle and I spread it around. You don't have to use a ladle. You can use whatever you have, a spoon. It's just a little easier to roll it around. But anyway, so I add my shredded cheese. A lot of times I use the pizza one, and then I use mozzarella, and then sometimes I use a pizza blend. So those are the cheeses that I try to keep on deck, and I freeze them honestly, and I pull them back out, let them, thaw themselves out. That's how I'm able to keep a good cheese supply, get them on sale. So I'm gonna add it to the oven. And with the cheese pizzas, I generally cook them on top because my daughter eats cheese, and me and my son, we devour pepperoni. And yeah. So with that being said, I put hers on top. That way hers doesn't burn, but it cooks really, really well. And generally that takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It just depends. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my cheese to the next pizza. And pretty much repeat the same step. I got some pepperoni, and I'll grab pepperonis sometimes when I see them on sale. I'll freeze them, put them in the cut, whatever the case may be. I'm a big, big pepperoni lover, so yes, I add a lot of pepperoni. Honestly, I like the real big, wide ones. When I can't afford those, you know, these are a go-to because those other ones are good. They're really good. But anyway, and I dropped this one in the oven. And basically, I mean, I'm just letting everything melt and do what it do. And yeah, like once it's done, you go ahead and, pull your stuff out the oven. You got your little pizza, have a pizza night with the kids or whoever. And again, because my oil is at the bottom of the pan, I'm able to transfer my pizza out and go ahead and put them on a plate for serving. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and I'll see you guys again soon.